bring back a lady who played for us in 2019. She promoted the tribute to John Martyn album that she did. Tony Remy. It's a great time for me to embarrass somebody else, another bass hero of mine, Henry Thomas. So Sarah's been doing a fabulous new project called Sisterhood, and she'll tell you more about that than I will, but right now I'll bring these lovely people on and I'll get out of the way. Sarah J. Morris, Tony Remy, Mr. Henry Thomas.
Well, it's wonderful to be back. It was 5 years ago and so much has changed, has it not? So Tony and I think at that point we had just made the EP. We hadn't even completed the album when we came up. And then what we did was we involved Jim and the wonderful Julie and Linda Thompson and Eddie Reader, and we interviewed them and filmed it and turned it into a show that Mark Thomas directed, and we took it to the Edinburgh Festival. You came, Jim, I remember seeing you there, and we won an award, and it all looked like we were going to be touring the world, and then on the day that the tour would have started, it was the first lockdown. And so it kind of disappeared, this project, but it introduced us to the most wonderful people. And Julie, John's sister, has become not only a dear friend, but a huge part of our projects. She happens, with her family, to live in Eastbourne, which is the next town to where I live, and where there is a really good studio that's just about affordable. And that's where we recorded our recent project. And Julie's contribution to that project, knowing that I was crowdfunding the whole thing, because Brexit and then COVID had destroyed our musical careers for that period. She cooked for us every night, and that was her wonderful contribution. So this song is for Julie. If you want to ride a rainbow, come with me. I will take you to the magic purple sea. Maybe we will find 1,000 sugarfish. When you eat them, they will grant your every wish. And if you want your friends to come, then bring them all along. Then walk my way. I will take you where the night is always day. You can follow me if you really try. Maybe we can find a rainbow to teach it to fly. And if you want your friends to come, then bring them all along. And I will take you to the magic dancing wood. I will take you where the goblins are all good. I will take you where the elves and pixies sing. And I will take you round the magic fairy ring. And if you want your friends to come, then bring them all along.
you will find that all the things that I have said will come true when you are lying in your bed. And if you want your friends to come, then bring them all along.
So the reason this particular project for us came about was I, over the last 20 years, became the writer of the human story. A lot to write about, a lot is very heavy, and I'm not one of those people that can just let that go. It became part of me. I was carrying it around. And so I wanted a break, and so I thought, why don't I look at another artist's body of work and do something there? And I realized that, I had fallen in love with John Martyn on television all those years ago, and singing May You Never. And I realized that he had a baritone voice. He had died, I was at that point 60 years old, he had died at 60, and I thought, actually, that's perfect. I don't have to change the keys, but we can make our own mark and change the songs a little and take them on another adventure. And I think he'd have approved of that, because he never sung the same song in the same way twice. And the best person to do that with, because obviously John wasn't just a songwriter, he was an amazing guitarist. And so I chose this incredible left-hand, right-hand man, Tony Remy. What John really knew how to do was to write beautiful love songs.
And if you kiss the sun right out of the sky for me, if you told me all the lies that I deserve, and if you laid all night in the rain for me, I couldn't love you more. And if you love me till my eyes gave no more shine for you, if you walked beside me all the long way home, and if you wasted all of your time on me, I couldn't love you more. I couldn't love you more. I couldn't love you more. If you show me all the ways you had to cry, and if you laid all night in the rain for me, I couldn't love you more. And if you kissed the sun right out of the sky for me, you told me all the lies that I deserve, and if you laid all night in the rain for me, I couldn't love you more. I couldn't love you more. I couldn't love you more. Oh no, oh I could not love you more. ways you had to cry. I could love you any more than I do now. I could love you anymore. Love you no more, no, no, no. Love you no more than I do.
So when we came last time, it was Tony and it was Tim Gansfield on acoustic guitar, and Tim is he's on tour with a Stevie Wonder project. And so because Henry played on this album too, Henry is, as Martin was saying, he's just a legend. He is one of not only the best bass players in the country, but a beautiful human being. And if you watch his face as he plays, it's all there. Big open book. So, if you like our version of this song, do buy the album, because this is my favourite track on the album.
Just no way to say how much I love you. You never made me cry, that's just fine. I've only got my fear to put above you. You know we all get scared from time to time. Just love me with your head and heart. Love me from the place it starts. Love me with your head. Love me like a child. There's just no way to say these things I'm feeling. No way to tell you all the things you mean. 'Cause every day I only feel like stealing. A way to where I know I can be clean. Just love me with your head and heart. Love me from the place it starts. Love me with your head and heart. Love me like a child. Just love me with your head and heart. Love me from the place it starts. Love me with your head and heart. Love me when I'm wild.
I'm scared
still being wrong, that is all. Just love me with your head and your heart. Love me from the place it starts. Just love me with your head and your heart. And love me like a child. Just love me with your head and your heart. Love me from the place it starts. Just love me with your head and your heart. And love me when I'm wild. Just love me with your head. And love me with your heart. Just love me with your head. With your heart, with your heart, with your heart.
Now how clever is John to write a song that is so appropriate for today. Now in a few weeks' time, we must go and vote. And hope that that makes a difference. Another song, okay. So they've got the lists and I haven't. And as you can see, I'm making up. So I'm going to go back and forget what I just said. Okay, and imagine that this song is for Jim, and it's about a particularly claustrophobic relationship. And I know that John had many loves. Sometimes you got a little bit jealous and perhaps a little bit controlling. I don't know, that it's just hearsay. But this is an interesting song. But I'm just going to go to my pad and look for it while they go around once more.
Make sure that I'm at home. You see, I didn't hear your call last night. Didn't hear the call that you might have made. Did you call me, babe? Did you call me, babe? And every time you go away, I think you've gone away to stay. And I sit down and I commit myself to the deepest despair. And every time you move around, I think about moving, running away, making a run and repair. Yeah. Just call me, baby. Make sure that I'm at home. See, I didn't hear your call last night. Didn't hear the call that you might have made. Did you call me, babe? Did you call me, babe? And every time didn't hear your call last night. I didn't hear the call that you might have made. And every time you go away, I think you're gonna stay. 'Cause if you don't call me, well then I can call you. You said you don't call me, well how can I call you? 'Cause I don't have your number. If you don't call me, then I can call you. Tell me, love of my life, what can you do? You said if you don't call me, then I can call you. You said you don't call me, well how can I call you? 'Cause I don't have your number. If you don't call me, then I can call you. Tell me, love of my life, what can you do? Call me, baby. Make sure that I'm home. Call me, baby. You see, I don't have your number. I don't have your number. Make sure that I'm home. By the way, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Why don't you call me? 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 I'll be here. I'll be here. What if you call? What if you call? What if you call? Why don't you call me? Why don't you call me? Why don't you call me? Call me, baby. Call me, baby. Call me now. Just call me, baby. Just call me, baby. Call me now. Just call me, baby. Just call me, baby. Call me now. Just call me, baby. Just call me, baby. Call me now.
I think you just wet my brow after that nervous little moment there. But let's just go back to the fact that we've got to get the fucking Tories out, okay?
Some of us live like princes, yeah. Some of us live just like queens. But most of us live just like me. We don't know what it means to make our way in one world, to have to stay in one world, to take our place in one world, to make our peace in one world. You ain't got too much to say to me, but I can't talk to you. There's no use crying. There's been no crying. I tell you, just the way of the world. It's the way of the world. It's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. It's the way of the world. Sometimes it gets so lonely. Sometimes it gets so cold and lonely. And these lonely times when we were born to shine, yeah. Sometimes it gets so lonely. Sometimes it gets so cold and lonely. And these lonely times when we were born to shine, yeah, yeah. just like me. We don't know what it means to make our way in one world, to have a say in one world, to take our place in one world, to make our peace in one world, to find our way, to have our say, to make our peace, to make our peace, to find a way in one world, to have a say in one world, to find a place in one world, to make a peace in one world. Oh, some of us get so lonely, get so very lonely in this lonely time. Get so lonely, get so lonely in these lonely times. Some of us live like princesses, some of us live like queens, but most of us live just like me. We don't know what it means to have our say, to find our way, to make our place here, to find our peace here, to find our peace here, to find our peace, to find our peace, to find our peace, to make our place here, to find our peace, to make our place here. It's just one code. My husband and I, we decided we didn't want to be in such terrible debt anymore. We sold his beautiful house, paid off some of that debt, and we moved to St. Leonard's on Sea, just in time to spend the lockdown being able to walk by the sea, to find our place, to find our people, to make our peace, to make our peace, to make our peace, to have our say, to find our way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So Leonard's that's the place to be. Do you know what? It went up in price more than anywhere else in the country during lockdown because it was not too far from London, a little bit cheaper. They all moved down, yes, we all moved down from London to Leonard's Sea. But they're my people, some of them are my people. Those are my men, those that I decided to know, and those that decided to know me. They're my folk, just like you're our folk, you're our folk. We know that the fact that you're friends or family of John's, you're our family too, yeah. Oh, yeah, did I say fuck the Tories? So this is a song that we really haven't done for 4 years, and it must be one of the most beautiful and touching love songs to a friend with mental health issues that's ever been written. Dear John, I hope this is okay.
sorry. And he did tell me that I needed to talk to you for a little because of the tuning. So I'm going to tell you about our recent project. So I don't have a television. My husband and I, Mark, we haven't had a television for as long as we've known each other, which is 15 years. And we read a great deal to each other, and it is romantic, and it's wonderful. And what happened was in that second lockdown, I had already walked my very arthritic knee into the ground by that first lockdown, with all the walks by the sea. And by the way, this last year, I have had a new knee, and I would like to introduce you to Nina Simone. She's doing very well, even though I did discover on the day of the operation that I was allergic to all painkillers. And yeah, a very interesting thing happened was in the operating theatre, because all I could have was an injection in the back that meant I was totally there for the whole operation. And they had on in the background, they had the radio. And tell me when you've got there, Tony, because I'm just blabbing. And so they had the radio on in the background. And just as they had taken off my leg, "Don't Leave Me This Way" came on the radio. And then they suddenly realised that I was that person that was singing to myself about this knee that had gone. And they went onto Spotify, and the whole of the rest of my operation was done to my own catalogue. Very, very weird indeed that was. But anyway, the project that I decided, I wanted to find out about the female singer-songwriters that had paved the way for somebody like me to be able to be the songwriter that I am today. And I made a list of about 50, and there are so many people that deserve to be on that list. But by the time that I realised it could be an album, I realised it could only really be 12. And so at that point I saw it as the passing of the torch from generation to generation. So it starts with Bessie Smith, who made everything possible. Because with the sales of her records, she put Columbia Records on the map. And all of these artists that I have written about, well, nearly every one of them, has signed to Columbia Records or an offshoot of that. So it was Bessie Smith that started all of that. And it finishes with Sinead O'Connor. And so Mark and I, we were reading the autobiographies and the biographies and saturating ourselves in the music. And so we very respectfully wrote their life stories. And then Tony came to stay when we were allowed to be more than 3 meters apart. And he took over Mark's sofa, and the two of us decided at about the same time that we should write each song in the musical genre of the artist we've written about, and that's what made it really, really interesting. But I had no money, and so I had to think outside of the box, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later, because he's obviously stopped tuning. So back to this beautiful song, written to someone that was a dear friend of John's. Uh-oh.
Well, you've been taking your time. You've been living on solid egg. Yes, you've been walking the line. You've been living on solid egg. And I don't know what's going wrong inside, but I can tell that it's hard to hide when you're living on solid egg. Well, you've been painted in blue, you've been looking through solid egg. Yes, you've been solid edge. Yes, you've been fighting that goal. You've been living on solid edge. And I don't know what's going on inside, but I can tell that it's hard to hide. When you're living, you're moving through solid edge. Yes, you've been getting too deep. You've been living on solid edge. Yes, you've been missing your sleep. You've been moving through solid edge. And I don't know what's going on in your mind, but I know you don't like what you find when you're moving through living in solid edge. And I know you, I love you, and I can be your friend, and I can follow you anywhere, even through solid air. You've been walking your life. 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 You've been walking your life.
Is the place, is the long notes okay? Are they clear? Because I'm getting distortion on stage, but it doesn't matter if it's clear out there.
Lovely out front, Henry. Lovely out front.
So, as a result, not just of this Tory government, of many governments, there are so many more people living on the street, needing to go to food banks and eat that way, feed their family that way, and may that never happen to you. May you never lay your head down without a hand to hold. May you never make your bed out in the cold. Well, you're just like a great strong brother of mine. I know that you love me true. You never talk dirty behind my back, but I know that there's those that do. Please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind? This love is a lesson to lonely nighttime. Please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind? Just for me. May you never lay your head just like a great strong sister of mine. I know that I love you true. You never hold a knife, you go and stab me on my back, but I know that there's those that do. Oh, please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind? Love is a lesson to learn in night time. Please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind just for me? Just like a great strong sister of mine, I know that I love you true. You never talk dirty behind my back, but I know that there's those that do. Oh, please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind? Love is a lesson to learn in our time. Oh, please, baby, please, won't you bear it in mind just for me?
I'm sure a lot of you know that John Martyn had a stint of living in Hastings, and Hastings likes to claim John. And there's a place called the West Hill, which looks out over the sea. It's a wonderful big expanse of grass, and it's where those young people go to take their drugs and their drink. And I gather this is where John wrote this song about. You've already heard this once this evening, a beautiful rendition of this. This is a vulgar, gory, all-part version. the perfect way to finish. And I'm sure that John would approve that out of this whole project and my friendship with Martin, with Jim, with Julie and her family, John would be delighted, I'm sure, to know that Aidan and Rory were going to get up on stage and play and sing with us. Up again. What a fantastic evening of music you've all had. I know you've had a fantastic weekend. We only caught sort of late afternoon and this evening, and I know that I've heard wonderful voices and beautiful songs and interpretations. And so what I want to finish with is a song that long before I did this project about John and his music, I was covering this song and doing this as an encore. And I in my ignorance, thought that John had written this song as an anti-war song in the time of war, the Vietnam War. That's how I pictured it. And then during the project, we got to interview Beverly, his first wife, who wrote a lot of the songs with John. Some that she was credited for, and some that she wasn't. That's just the way. And she told me at the time they were living in Alistair Crowley's house, and John suddenly said to her, I want to write a song about evil. And she said, I don't want to know about your evil. I only want to know about love.
jungle, waiting for those planes to fall, waiting for the cities to crumble. Now wait until I see you cross Factory. We are selling, we've got one of those card readers. So we don't need your cash, we need your card. So if you do want to take a CD away, you may not have a CD player, but does that matter? No, because if you download our music, we never see that. So why don't you download it and buy a CD from, not just me, from anybody that you love and want to support and to keep going. Because we live under governments all the way around the world that don't want musicians and artists and filmmakers and poets and actors to survive, because we make